No more work, more time to travel, relax, or spend with the family, maybe even leave the cold winters behind. But here's what most Canadians don't realize. Your financial plan doesn't just need to last 25 or 30 years. It might need to stretch 40 years or more. And retiring before 60, before government benefits kick in, comes with three major risks. Unexpected tax consequences, gaps in guaranteed income like CPP and OAS, and missing healthcare coverage that was previously provided by your employer. So while the idea of early retirement is appealing, the reality is this. If you don't plan carefully, retiring at 55 could cost you more than you think. But with the right strategy, it's absolutely possible. And today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do it right. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Charles DeCalzi, Associate Investment Advisor at IA Private Wealth, Zenith Private Wealth Council. If you find this helpful, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Canadian tax and retirement strategies. And if you'd like to see how early retirement could work for your own situation, book a call with me using the link in the description below. Now, let's take a closer look at what retiring at 55 in Canada actually looks like. Part 1. The income gap before age 65. When you retire at 55, you're essentially stepping away from your paycheck a full decade before most government benefits begin. Here's the situation. CPP, or Canada Pension Plan, can't start until age 60 at the earliest. OAS, or Old Age Security, starts at 65. And if you don't have a defined benefit pension, there's likely no automatic monthly income waiting for you. That means that you'll need to self-fund your lifestyle for at least 5 to 10 years, possibly longer, depending on when you start drawing from those programs. So where does the money come from? Usually it comes from RRSPs or RIFs, which are taxable, TFSAs, which are tax-free, non-registered investments, or if you're incorporated, corporate retained earnings or dividends. This gap between age 55 and 65 is what we call the early retirement funding zone. It's a unique planning window, and it's often the most overlooked part of early retirement. If you draw too much too soon, you risk depleting your savings. If you draw too little, you may miss opportunities to reduce future taxes. So this phase needs to be carefully managed with income smoothing, tax coordination, and benefit timing in mind. Part 2. Why tax strategy matters more if you retire early. Let's talk taxes. When you're no longer earning employment income, you might think your taxes will go down, and often they do. But without a good withdrawal strategy, you could still pay more tax than necessary. Here's a common scenario. Let's say you retire at 55 and start withdrawing $60,000 a year from your RRSP to fund your lifestyle. You're now reporting $60,000 in fully taxable income, even though it's coming from your own savings. That might place you in a moderate tax bracket. But what happens when you turn 71? At that point, your RRSP must convert to a RIF, and minimum withdrawals are mandatory, whether you need the income or not. Combine that with CPP and OAS starting, and now your taxable income could jump to as high as $80,000 or more, potentially triggering OAS clawbacks or pushing you into a higher marginal tax rate. So for many Canadians, retiring at 55, there's a strategic opportunity. Use the early years to draw from RRSPs deliberately while your income is lower, to reduce the size of your future RIF and avoid tax bites down the road. This is often referred to as the RIF meltdown strategy, and it could be especially effective when paired with a TFSA contribution, spousal income splitting, or capital gains planning in a non-registered account. The point is this: retiring early creates tax flexibility, but only if you plan for it. Part 3. CPP timing. Should you start at age 60 or delay? When you retire at 55, you won't have access to CPP right away. The earliest you can start is age 60. But starting that early comes with a significant reduction, 0.6% per month, or 36% total if you begin at 60 instead of 65. Let's say your full CPP entitlement at 65 is $1,200 a month. If you take it at 60, you'll receive $768 a month for life. On the other hand, if you delay CPP beyond 65, you earn 0.7 more per month, up to a 42% increase by age 70. So what's the right move? If you have the resources to delay, maybe you're drawing from your RRSP or TFSA in your 50s and early 60s, you may benefit from waiting until 65 or even 70. The longer you live, the more those higher payments pay off. But here's the other side. If you need the income, or want to reduce pressure on your portfolio in the early years, starting CPP at age 60 can help bridge the gap to OAS at 65. It's not just a math decision. It's about your cash flow needs, your health and longevity expectations, your tax situation, and your investment risk tolerance. A good retirement income plan doesn't just ask, how much CPP will I get? It asks, how does CPP fit into the rest of my strategy? Part 4. Healthcare coverage. After you leave your work, one of the biggest blind spots for Canadians retiring early is health coverage. You're still covered by provincial healthcare like OHIP in Ontario. That won't go away just because you stop working. But here's what's not covered after you leave your job. prescription drugs outside of hospitals, dental and vision care, physiotherapy, chiropractic massage therapy, out-of-country travel insurance, private or semi-private hospital rooms. If your employer provided extended health benefits, those usually end when your employment ends, unless you pay to convert the plan. And if you're retiring before 65, you won't yet qualify for provincial drug programs for seniors, which means any prescription costs are on you. That can get expensive, especially if you or your spouse require regular medication, you plan to travel frequently, or you develop a health condition early in retirement. So what can you do? Consider an individual health insurance plan to replace lost benefits. If you're married, check if your spouse's employer benefits can cover you. Budget for increased out-of-pocket costs as part of your retirement plan. And one more thing, travel insurance. Many early retirees plan to travel more, especially in the winter. But most travel insurance charge more starting at around age 60, and the coverage becomes limited if you're already had a medical diagnosis. So if travel is part of your early retirement vision, be sure to factor in both costs and insurability. Part 5. What it really takes to retire at 55. Retiring at 55 is possible, but it's not as simple as hitting a savings number and walking away from it. It takes a plan that bridges your income gap before government benefits kick in, manages your taxable income across multiple decades, coordinates CPP, OAS, RRSP, TFSA, and maybe corporate income, and ensures your healthcare and lifestyle costs are accounted for. Let me give you an example. I recently worked with a couple in their mid-50s, both professionals, no pension, with about $1.6 million combined across RSPs, TFSAs, and a small holding company. They wanted to retire at 55 and travel for 10 years. So here's what they did. They created a withdrawal plan that used their RRSPs from 55 to 64 to keep taxes low, deferred CPP to age 67, giving them more guaranteed income later, layered in TFSA withdrawals to supplement their travel budget, and built a healthcare contingency fund for private coverage and drug costs. They're now retired, living the lifestyle they wanted, and confident their money will last. That's what proper planning can do. So, can you retire at age 55 in Canada? Yes, but only if you plan for it properly. Because early retirement isn't just about walking away from your job. It's about knowing where your income will come from, how to draw it tax efficiently, when to trigger CPP and OAS, and how to cover the gaps in your health coverage and lifestyle budget. You need a strategy that bridges the early years while protecting your long-term income and legacy goals. And the good news, if you take the time to plan it out, you can retire at 55 with confidence, not guesswork. If you like help building that kind of plan for your own situation, click the link in the description to book a time with me or someone on my team at Zenith Private Wealth Council, IA Private Wealth. We'll walk you through your numbers, map out the timing of each income stream, and help you design a retirement strategy that works now and for decades to come.